Talk about just talk about the challenges though, man. I mean, the day-to-day grind and understanding the pressures of that, picking a college, like how was that? I mean, what was that like for you?
It was difficult because I'm a people person. I like to think that I'm liked by everybody that I bump heads with or that I cross paths with. It's something that I really take pride in. You know, obviously everybody probably does, but you know, nobody wants to be hated or that guy's cocky or that guy's arrogant. I like to think that I'm liked by the people that I speak with or that I come across. And for me to have to tell some of those colleges no, man, it was some of the toughest things that I ever had to do, you know, especially being so young at the time, 17 years old. I never had to, you know, call this guy who's dependent on me to come there to try and help him win games and let him know, you know, sorry, but, you know, thanks for your interest, but sorry, I got to go over here. And that was tough. That helped me grow up pretty quick. And, you know, to do that to not just one coach or set of coaches, I had to do it to 4 or 5. And it's something that my dad made me step up to the plate and do because he felt like that was important to give those guys the respect, especially after they spent all those, you know, 1.5 to 2 years of their time recruiting me and coming to see me and watch me play at this tournament and this high school game in Leavenworth or Kansas City, Kansas, you know, all these different places. So that kind of helped me grow up pretty quick. But, you know, other than that, I mean, just the whole process, the answering calls, you know, back then text messaging wasn't so big with college coaches, but the phone calls, the keeping up with the mail, the coaches coming in to watch practice, you know, it kind of got exhausting at times. That's why I was glad that I ended up signing so early in that first national period.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, a lot of kids are going to go through that. I mean, obviously more challenging times today, but I mean, what advice do you have for the high school athletes right now that are going to go through the same process or are going through that same process? I mean, what would you tell them as far as just their ideas of being successful in the recruiting and finding the right place for them, the right home?
Well, first things first, get that ACT or that SAT out of the way. You know, get it out of the way so then that's not a factor coming, you know, that senior year or even late in that junior year. You know, I was able to pass my ACT with the score that I needed early on in my junior year. So I had that whole year, one more summer to play AAU and then obviously choose where I wanted to go and not have to deal with that side of it. But as far as actually choosing the school, just embrace it, you know, just embrace it. There's a lot of people out there that would love for, you know, schools to be drooling over them, schools to be calling them, you know, getting, I don't know how many shoe boxes of mail that I had. My mom was trying to ask me, did I want that stuff out of her attic this summer? I'm like, Mom, you can get rid of that. But, you know, it was really fun to go through. So just embrace it. Just embrace it because it's honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity. And, you know, don't just, oh, this is a questionnaire, let me fill it out real quick. No, really sit there and take your time because it's an important, you know, decision. And any and every little thing that you do, any and every little thing that you read could play a big part in where you end up going and how your career could end, or, you know, your career could end up. And so just embrace it, man, and hit it head on.
Right. Was there any, I mean, as far as your senior year, was there any schools like I think everyone goes out, like I'm not gonna lie to you, we're all athletes. I mean, everyone thinks like they should be able to should have been recruited by this school or that school, or, you know, or kind of get a bad taste in your mouth. Didn't you reach out? Like, really?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep it 100. KU.
Yeah, I don't say.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure if I was ready for that level coming out of high school, but I didn't get a questionnaire.
Right.
You know, I couldn't get in the database, and that was just like, look, but it's okay. You know, that's one thing that my mom and dad drilled in me from day one is everybody has their own past. You're not like this person, that person's not like this person. You can't watch the next guy. So just worry about what your path is, focus on yourself and try your best, and whatever comes from that, keep going. And I would like to think that I did that. And then obviously, again, the full circle thing, you'll probably hear me say that 2 or 3 more times the rest of this interview is right. Once Coach Martin and got that job at Tennessee, and I had the chance to graduate at the end of my junior year. Now KU is offering me a scholarship to come play there as a graduate senior. So it's just funny how some of those things come back around. But I decided to stay loyal and stay Missouri State because
I didn't know that. That's good stuff. So let's go back.
It was like a whole nother recruitment process that opened back up.
Wow.
It was
that's right because
I only had.
When a coach leaves, you get an opportunity. Yes. Oh, I got you now.
If at that time, if I were to graduate in that summer, so I could have took, I think it was 3 classes that summer, graduated by August, and then enrolled at Kansas or Kansas State or Oregon at the time, places like this. But my man Wood stayed. I slowed down my graduation. My girlfriend at the time, who was my wife now, Jackie, was still there. She was just finishing up. So 2 of my best friends moved down to Springfield. That was my home. That was my home. That was my second home. So it wasn't anything that I was willing to leave. And I still had a goal to try to get to the NCAA tournament, which I didn't end up getting, fulfilling that goal. But at the time, that was what I wanted.
You guys came close though on that one. I think actually you guys should have got in. It didn't make no sense.
I know it.
But anyway.
Well,